All right, so the hoopla, the hysteria, the craziness, the wildness that is, we want Cody. Cody Rhodes giving his thing up to the Rock for the whole thing against Roman Reigns. I was like, we done had several days to deal with it. They're gonna do a press thing. They haven't really made it official. While it is like official, there's stuff coming out that Rock. There's a power play within the contract, all this type of stuff. But guess what? One thing they did sort of, they sort of said this is what this was the plan, but the Rock outrage wasn't a part of it. Maybe it was. Who knows? We'll find out more. Like I said, this is going to be one of them things that no matter how it goes down, it won't be until later on that we really get detailed about this. But anyway, until then, let's say let's say they don't stick with it, that they got to do something else, that maybe they change their mind after how everybody with the hashtag. So how do you fix it? What do you do? I was like, I know everybody doing their own little, like, how would you fix the thing? I ain't seen theirs yet, just because I wanted to see if I can come up with something maybe that they ain't got yet, or maybe I'm just gonna do my own thing, my Miles Morales thing. But anyway, so we all know some of the stuff they could do. Like, they can make the triple threat out of it, which I mean, I wouldn't care, but I know a lot of people don't like that idea. They got double night duty, where Roman faces Rock night 1 and then faces Cody night 2. I wouldn't mind this either, but this sort of also brings up the same thing with the triple threat, that is sort of like the Rock, sort of, Roman's tired, he ain't at his 100%, he ain't at his tribal chief self, or whatever you want to say. Okay, cool. So, then I was like, then there's something that's like unrealistic, that like maybe they change it and they just like where the Rock and is talking so much junk that makes Roman be like, we ain't gotta wait till WrestleMania. We'll do this at Elimination Chamber. Unlikely, but it could happen. I was like, you could play the long game in this, where just, or at least until I guess Elimination Chamber or whatever, just because if you want Cody to face Roman, somebody gonna have to face Seth. But you could play this out in a way where maybe the bloodline just decide to be like, forget this, and they just take out the Rock themselves. Basically just beat his ass, beat him up. Just take him out to the point where like the Rock gives back the blessing to Cody, or Cody don't have no choice, or Roman is like, he's like, you ain't got no Rock now. Coming, I was like, like now we could do this. I was like, I don't know, maybe that's another option that's also unrealistic, because it makes the Rock look bad, even though this is also a whole thing that they're playing out. But whatever. You could have the Rock simply say that he's like, Cody was right. You gotta taking everything away from me to see how you do when you're the leader. And he could be like, I didn't have the family actually with me every time. I didn't have them actually interfering. So I'm going to start this off by taking out Solo and Jimmy. And then I was like, and now I was like, and then let Cody have you one-on-one at WrestleMania. Like, you could flip it like that. Because I was like, just like how Cody said, finishing his story is taking everything away from him. We're assuming that the Rock is talking about head of the table that is what he's talking about. But we're assuming that he's talking about like actual head of the table, when it could be that he's like, I became the head of the table but I had to do it on my own. Yes, I had the legacy, but I didn't have everybody else surrounding me. It was just me here, and I was like, outside of Rikishi. But that's another route they could take. Then I was like, but what if, in wrestling fashion, you decided to take the real life elements of things? And by that, I mean, you double down on all this, and in the process, you make it seem like it's Rock and Roman facing off, head of the tribal chief. And I get it. It's the marquee match. It's the top thing. It's gonna make a lot of money. It's what people been want. Giving people what they want. You know, like Batista said. But what about you to keep going with that in a way where Rock and Roman actually bond because of it? You could use the power play that the Rock actually, I was like, has done, and be like, and go to Roman and be like, you learn well. Sometime when you're at the top, you gotta do what you need to do to stay at the top. And that's how you basically sell this whole thing, is that Roman is just doing what The Rock did in order to be at the top. And he's like, it's Roman's time. And you can play with the whole thing of like, when I rose your hand at the Royal Rumble and I heard the millions and millions of people booing you, that's when we realized that I'm like, in order for us to stay at the top, be at the top, continue what's in our bloodline, our family, do all this, is that's when this whole thing struck in motion. I realized you can't trust these people. I realized that you can't trust this business because how they destroyed you and your character and all that stuff. They didn't care about you. They didn't care about our family. And that's why when you had to come back, you had a mandate, you had to take over. I was like, you on God mode. I was like, wreck everything. Because that's what we do. And that's why when Cody, when I played your ass on me giving you friendly advice, it was really just advice of the family. I was like, now you done gave away your whole ticket at WrestleMania. And now this marquee match will just be nothing but more of a celebration. Maybe not a celebration, but you get what I'm saying. You could double down playing it. Guess what? Now everybody's gonna boo. Everybody's gonna whatever and stuff like that. I was like, you basically join. I was like, basically join forces. And yes, technically, there's no match at WrestleMania because the whole thing. I was like, the Rock is going to fight Roman. He really was just there to join Roman, thus getting Cody mad and all the other stuff, seeing what he could do. And what about if, so that's how you do it. That's how you get Cody back into the program. You have The Rock just turn heel, use all this against him, be like, you people suck, y'all gave me the whole, y'all came at my family and all this other stuff. But he turned him into the bad guy while some stuff of like his, you know, politicking and stuff like that in the back, while also using the real life stuff of like the threats that's been happening to like his family and stuff that sucks. But add that with it of like, cause it's like it makes sense of like, you make him sympathetic while also making him an ass. You know, using how y'all booed my cousin, and that's why we had to go out on this. We had to do this here. You get Cody into the whole thing, and now this is the part where it's tricky. You could just end up just having Cody try to take out everybody or whatever in the route, and then you just got the Rock and Roman there or whatever, and just being like, I'm not gonna allow you to do this. I'm part of the company or whatever. You make this whole thing or whatever, and two things. You can either, I was like, do some other finagling or something like that. I was like, where like almost how, maybe less messy, but sort of how you had the whole Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair thing happen in order for that to be a triple threat, and they made that to a thing. And it was clunky how it got there, but hey, it paid off in the long run. Or you could also Cody Rock night 1, Cody Roman night 2. Cause the difference is Roman working double nights. That's what people don't really want to really see that, just because it's like, oh, now Roman's tired for Cody match. But Cody doing double matches, that makes him more endearing. That makes him more the hero. That makes him more inspiring. And he went through all this, the background stuff. He has to do 2 nights. And that's how you sort of do the new version of the Daniel Bryan story. Where it seemed like now it's like, cause now you use the real life stuff again in a way that's a lot more than the fabricated to create more of Because you already got the generic "we want Cody" stuff. But now, if you over here got it where it's like, now it's like, well, if that's how you feel, you got to face both of us. And it's like, handicap man? No. It's like night one, night two. Now that looks more like a thing. Or you can have him do it in the same night. I doubt The Rock will not want to be in the main event of one of those nights. But you can have him, The Rock, and Cody first. And then he's still got to face Roman throughout all the stuff. Whatever my interference might be. He's tired. Whatever. And that way, when he wins the second time, it's more impactful than what it could have been than just him facing Roman. Like, yes, it'd have been great, but like I said before, that's because y'all just want Roman to lose more than anything. But now you actually want Cody to win. And that's what you do here. And that's how you sort of fix it, in my mind. Maybe somebody else can pop this up. I don't know. But that's what I came off the top of my head. Anyway, what is it do you think about anything I had to say here? Do you like some of the other options in this one? Can you improve my option? I would like, are you fine with it? Do you want some type of curveball in general instead of just Rock and Roman? I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think, and until then, we'll see how everything goes. I'm out.